Hi guys, it's Chelsea from Smoldering Serpents again. So I'm doing another feeding video today. I didn't actually realize, when I made my other video yesterday, I didn't actually realize that it was already Tuesday. I thought it was Monday. So Wednesday's here already, and the weekly eaters are due up. So even though it's only been a day since my last video, I figured I would just make another one since I'm feeding anyways. So again, this is another feeding video. There'll be dead animals. No live feedings. Today we'll be giving a bunch of snakes mice and quail. And yeah, so we might as well just jump right in. Okay, so first up we have Skotos, our adult male black milk snake. He is in shed, but that doesn't stop him. As you can see, he knows something's going on already, and I have his mouse waiting for him. So we'll just hand it over to him. And that's the end of that mouse. So typically Skotos will eat small rats, sometimes weanling rats, and I'll mix that up with adult mice for a smaller meal, as well as day-old chickens and appropriately sized quail. So he gets a pretty good variety of rodents and birds. So, so today would also typically be the day that I feed our other adult black milk snake, Nyx. Now, Nyx is down here, and the reason why I'm not feeding her today is because, so this is her lay box, and Nyx is actually pretty heavily gravid right now. And as you can see, she is in pre-lay shed right now. So that beautiful girl is probably gonna lay eggs in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Now, typically I do feed them while they're gravid, as long as they'll take it, but while they're in their pre-lay shed, I generally back off from food because they're very uncomfortable with the eggs and the shed and everything combined. So she won't be eating today, but if we go one cage up, this is Nova. She's our yearling. No, not yearling, I misspoke. She's almost 2. Nova's our 2-year-old female black milk snake. You can see her little snout right there. Oh, you got the tongs, dear. There you go. That is exactly why I would like to have tongs with rubberized tips, although I'm not sure if the teeth would get stuck in the rubber if they bit the tongs, but it doesn't happen too frequently. Next up we have Hohenheim. He's our adult male extreme hypo Honduran milk snake. And we have an adult mouse for him. I like to make the mouse fight a little bit sometimes. It just gets them more excited. All right, beautiful boy. So Hohenheim's a big snake. He is pretty close to 6 feet long at this point when we measure him. And so this seems like a pretty small meal for him, and it is. That's just an adult mouse. I think it's about 25 grams. Hohenheim has an extremely slow metabolism. He's definitely been overweight a couple times in his life, and he's just now down to where we'd like him to be. You can see that he still has that ridge down his spine, which a lot of people mistake as automatically meaning a snake's overweight. But with milk snakes, especially the larger ones, they're extremely muscular, and the muscles that run alongside their spine stick up like that when they flex a certain way. So that is definitely not fat. That's just him all flexed up and excited for his meal. But that being said, he has been chubby before, so we've cut his meals down to he'll get either an adult mouse, the very occasional weanling rat, and then some appropriately sized birds. And he only eats every 2 weeks. So he's finally down to the shape we'd like him to be in, and we'd like him to stay there. Milk snakes in general tend to have a pretty slow metabolism compared to other, even our other Lamprepeltis have much faster metabolisms and go through food a lot quicker. But the black milks and the Honduran milks, they really hang on to extra weight. Next up we have Auri, our speckled king. And I believe she's to the right there. Oh, there she is. Auri is very dramatic when it comes to eating. Oh, she's got the tongs now. There we go. I think she's got it. So Auri's a really fun one to just set the food down and walk away, or not walk away, just stand there and watch her really. But, leave her alone as far as the tongs go and just let her find it and hunt it down. She gets so excited. Her tail will rattle, just like Tempest, the false water cobra, will do. Her tail will rattle. She'll get so overstimulated with the smell of food, but she does eventually find it. As much as I love tong feeding a snake like Auri, it's really interesting to watch them hunt down the food and chase the scent trail. I really do think it's a pretty underrated form of enrichment. Honestly, if a snake will take food off the ground, I think it's a great way to mix up feeding time. So here we have Demi, and she is our adult variable king snake, and I just realized as I'm filming over here that I'm in the totally wrong place. She's right there. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna set you down over here. That is a typical feeding with Demi. She's a little bit dramatic. She's cute though. Don't know why my camera doesn't want to focus. There she goes. Wow. That is quite a position. I don't post Demi nearly enough. She's a little difficult to get pictures of because, as you can see, she's a little nuts when it comes to food, and she unfortunately happens to think that my fingers are food. So getting nice pictures of her is difficult, but it is always nice to see her at feeding time. She's definitely not shy then. She's one of our oldest snakes. I believe she's turning 7 this year. Okay, I'm gonna let her finish because as soon as she finishes, she's gonna turn around for more, and I would like the door to be closed at that point. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, next up is Rosalind, our Baron's Racer. And she is always a lot of fun at feeding time. And I know exactly where she is. See if I can get her to come out so we can see her. Oh, I guess that's as far as we'll get. Well, there's Rosalind. Next up we have Elithar, our Hypo Baird's rat snake. And he's getting a pretty big meal here. It's a quail, or what's left of a quail. And he won't eat for quite a while after this. This is pretty big for him. But he loves his birds. He's a pretty boy. Baird's rat snakes seem to have a slower metabolism yet from other rat snakes that we have. He only eats every... Oh. He does that almost every time. He only eats every couple weeks at most, and generally it's pretty small meals. Like I said, this is pretty big for him. But they maintain their weight so easily on a lighter diet. Well, now we can see his colors, although I'm not sure how well they show up on video, really. He has this peachy pink undertone that just doesn't come out on video very well. You can see it in his head a little bit. This is a snake who was such a reluctant eater. He honestly was reluctant every part of his life when we had him in a tub. And like I've said before, we started keeping pretty much everything in racks and have transitioned to cages. And this is a snake that just did a 180 when he was put in this 4-foot cage. He's an aggressive eater, as you can see. He's very bold. He's always watching whatever's happening in the room. His personality has changed so much, which has just been awesome to see, because honestly, he was just a very boring snake behaviorally. And I say that knowing that obviously in a rack there's not much you can expect them to do, but he was just so passive with every part of his life, and any behavior he might exhibit was so lacking in enthusiasm. And he's just come alive when he's been put in this cage. All right, we'll let him finish that up and move on to the next one. So this next one is for Luthien, our 3-year-old calico black rat snake. And this lady almost gave me a heart attack this morning because I was trying to give her fresh water. There, she's creeping around the edge. I was trying to give her fresh water and I couldn't find her. And I put my hand a little too far in the cage and she came rocketing out, mouth open. Oh, she's coming after me. Okay, well, here's the food. Okay, she is now fed. Okay, first up downstairs we have Taser. He's an almost 2-year-old Taiwan beauty snake, and he's getting a quail. Let's see if we can get him to come out a little bit. I see that nose. It's a pretty big meal for him, but oh, there he goes. It's a good sized meal for him. He's always bigger than I think he is at this point. He's a pretty boy. Growing really quickly too. This will keep his growth rate going steady. And he loves birds. He loves them. Most of our rat snakes eat about 50% birds, 50% rodents. As they get bigger, though, we'll likely transition to more birds. They just go nuts for them. They seem to love them more than they like rodents. Even birds are a fraction of the price once you start having to feed rats. Rats are just crazy expensive right now. And honestly, for a lot of these, birds make up a really significant portion of their natural diet. So I feel like trying to replicate that can only be good for them. Even if it doesn't make much of a difference, they seem to like it a lot more. All right, we'll let him eat in peace as much as I'm enjoying looking at that beautiful face. And we'll move on to Nuada. Okay, so here's Nuada. She's getting the last quail for the day. And oh, she'll take it. Don't let go. Oh, she got it. Usually when I feed birds, they end up being oversized as far as the initial size. However, birds break down really, really fast. Like by tomorrow, all of these rat snakes that have eaten birds, there will hardly be a lump. So we're going to finish off the video with Jazz. She is more than ready. And she takes it up to her lair. Few snakes are more excited for mealtime than Jazz. She is a little pig. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I probably won't have anything to post on YouTube for a little while now, but in the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, any ideas for future videos, please feel free to share. I will definitely be trying to put together something. It just won't be quite as quick as these last two were. So I will see you guys at some point when I have something new to post.